Alright, so I'm going to give a video to explain my answer I gave. The question basically is, what do you do if you're training in a dojo that does not understand the tactical necessity for spinal displacement in Kihon Waza as tactical solutions? So you're either told to just stay stationary and hold, okay? Because again, as that is not the tactical opening for Kihon Waza as tactical solutions, you now have to do things that obviously don't make sense martially. But again, energetically, which is the main point of Kihon Waza, you will have a harder time, especially if you are not yet skilled in the energetic aspects. You will have a harder time trying to accomplish energetically what you're trying to accomplish by somebody who just stands there and grabs you, okay? So the question is, well, I don't want to do that. I'd like to make martial sense, or I'd like to have the energetic aspects being cultivated in my Kihon Waza. What do I do? Okay. The first solution I would say is tell them to push. Like, just say, hey, can you push a little? But maybe your teacher will come around, like, it depends on where you are in the social hierarchy. Your teacher will come around and go, I don't want you to push, I want you to bear down and crank down. Like, you know, if you were in a Iwamadu or something like that. Okay, the next solution I would go to is get a friend, make a friend, and train in the right way outside of the dojo class structure, okay? And as you climb in rank, which you will, because it's just hang out long enough, as you climb in rank and as you get social power, social capital in there, and it's your turn to run some classes, you can run classes like that. That would be my next option. All right, and then if you're like, well, that's not gonna work, or that's gonna take a while, I guess the other option is go to another dojo. I'll try that one next. But okay, none of that's working. Okay, here's what you can do. Okay, so I have to tell my uke what to do because we don't do this. So well, let me get him in the ballpark. You're just gonna stay still with no pressure. There you go. Okay, I will go back out of range. Okay, so everyone who does that, just like anyone else, they have a precognition of where they're going to land and do that grip from out there. Do you get it? So if my hand is there, he's going to look at it, and his body mind is telling him that's where I'm going to close my hand. Okay. So like with all things that we want to do when we use Aiki, the adhesion it has to remain at neutral yang. So its deviations and whatever vector that I use, it has to be gradual. If you make sharp angles or reverse angles, you're going to go positive yang and you're going to lose the adhesion, okay? So we're going to use that concept here. I'm not going to call it Aiki myself. Of just gradual addressing of what you're doing, okay? So as he goes to do that, I got that little movement. Stay there where you are. Do you feel how your weight shifted on your front leg now?
Yes.
Do you feel that?
Yes.
Okay. So as opposed to he comes in, I stay here, he's grounded, he's actually falling backwards on that foot, okay? But this would be equally wrong. You go like this, the people are going to stop because you radically change where they wanted to land, okay? So that would be one way to do it. It's just sure there I just did it, okay? You had a little bit of forward progress into the movement, okay? The best way of doing that is to give them the hand as bait, like you would in any number of weapons techniques. So I'm shifted on the front foot. Do you see where I am? And as he comes in, I shift on that back foot, and then you already got enough weight to do whatever you want to do. Okay? It's not going to be right, but as we already said, I think this is like the 5th option that I gave you, okay? But it's better than you're just standing here, his weight actually went back, and then you're like having to get back here to try to do that same thing, okay? But the next best option, and I have to use this all the time in here, because the beginner uke gets scared as they get moved from their center, and they will not spinally displace because they know that was the martial opening for example, the nagewaza, and they start to resist the nagewaza from the get-go, okay? So the best option, so he's gonna stay there, okay, is I will now vector off the front foot. I ground vector off the front foot. So normally you ground vector off the back foot because he's pushing, and you need that back foot to make the connection. But this time I'll vector off the front foot, okay? If I stay on the back foot or neutral, you see how it's kind of dead. But as I vector off the front foot, and then you have him, okay? And you're now using that adhesion. So you might have to change some things. As I come around, this one came that way, and then you have the same eco technique. I don't know if that's the best view camera, so move wherever you want. So I vector off the front foot, okay? And you can combine the two, so boom, I kind of got a little bit, and then as opposed to be entering over there for the ikyo, I use that foot to turn him into that movement with that adhesion. So let's say he does not close his hand, okay, and I do that same thing. You see? Boom. If you're doing, for example, like any of the arm passes, okay? Same thing, so boom, connection, move, and you just will bring him with your adhesions into the spinal displacement, okay? Then he's moving forward now. So you could do Tai no Henko, for example, and we know in ours he's pushing, and hence that's why I turn, because that's what makes sense. When someone pushes, turn. It does not make sense to enter on someone who's pulling or not pushing, okay? You don't turn on that. I'm sorry, you don't turn on that. You enter on that, okay? So here he is, and there's no push, and you're trying to do this kind of stuff. You're gonna eventually lose him, okay? But here you connect him. That's all I'm doing. So boom, connect, I connect, and then I can't move him abruptly, you'll lose him. It's just gradual movement, and you move to where you need. And that doesn't change if you change hands. So I changed hands on the other side. So boom, let's do that side. Here we go. So he's just standing there, okay, ground vector, here we go. I move it, and then I move it. That would be what I would try to do, okay? I hope that helps.